guys, this is Brad at Main Stage Music, and welcome to our Tuesday evening gear demo. And today we're going to be talking about a pretty cool piece of kit in mind of all the cool spring and summer gigs that I know you guys are already starting to book. So one thing that I have to say about today's society, we're always on the go. We're a very mobile society. We have our cell phones and our, get up and go kind of attitudes. And gigs are getting smaller. They're more plentiful, but they're getting smaller. So I wanted to show you guys a neat piece of gear that you could pick up and take with you and go and do gigs with and make money, obviously. First of all, I want to invite you guys to ask any questions that you see. If you haven't already followed us on YouTube, I want to make sure that you go and do that, because we get this message that says they want us to have like 1,000 subscribers. We're like halfway there. So the more people we can get on the Main Stage Music YouTube channel, the better. So make sure you go over to YouTube and hit subscribe, and that way we can continue to keep this cool content going on. So anyways, so you might ask, what's this cool piece of gear that you're going to show us today? Well, going along with the theme that we were talking about, being on the go, we've decided to bring the new Mackie Thump Go, it's called. And that's this little guy right here to my, to my right, your left. So what the Mackie Thump Go is it is a powered speaker. But actually it's more than that. It really is an all kind of inclusive little sound system. So everything that you're hearing tonight is actually running through the Mackie Thump Go. So my guitar and my microphone are plugged in to this Mackie. And you might go, whoa, how am I hearing it through the live stream then? Well, we're going to go over the inputs and outputs of the Mackie Thump Go and why this is a perfect piece of gear. Even if you already have a sound system, how you can expand it, or how you can use this thing on the fly. So first of all, as far as the basic specs, it's lightweight. It probably only weighs maybe 8 pounds, very light. It has an 8-inch speaker with a high-frequency driver built in, so it's got a nice full-range sound, as you can hear. The inputs on the side, let's go ahead and do a little work there. There we go. You can see here we've got multiple channels. So you've got channel 1, which is where the microphone is plugged in. You have channel 2, which is where the guitar is plugged in. And then, of course, the last one there is just your main or master output. You can see that I don't really have anything maxed out. It's all about keeping this simple. Now, if you look there at the bottom, it says through. So what's going on is the two microphone and guitar plugged into those two channels, and then the through is an output that I have running to our live stream mixer that you guys are hearing me on the air with. So now as far as the controls on the top, it's all simple push button stuff, all right? So what they're doing is they're trying to eliminate that. Well, I mean, you guys know, it's intimidating sometimes. You'll see a mixing board, and it has this whole forest of knobs, okay? And you're like, I don't know how to run that. A guy would have to know how to go to school to, maybe you could do a camera swap. This would be a good time. There we go. Yeah, let's try another one. There we go. Because you know how there's like a whole sea of knobs on a mixer. People get scared of that stuff and like, I don't even know which one is which. So on the Mackie Go, they've only got really 3 knobs, as you can see, one each for the volume of each channel and then one master output. All the rest of the features are done with just those simple push buttons. Now, what do the buttons do? Well, let's go back to that camera angle there. There we go. So the top one talks about voicing modes. That's just their fancy word of saying preset equalization. So they give you 4 different preset styles. You can see one set up for music and so on. And what you're doing is you just push a button and it changes the EQ just enough where it sounds better for, in the case of speech, or maybe if you're playing some music or whatever. Again, this speaker is designed for a lot of different applications. You could go to do a little DJ thing with it. So let's say you had a laptop with a bunch of music and you wanted a quick little DJ thing, you could just plug it in and go. Or if you were, let's say, had an important message, maybe you were in sales, using this to do like a, like a little presentation or something like that. With this, you can just set it to speech, and it maximizes it for the human voice. And so that's what those little settings are for. Now, if you go back to the other one, we'll talk about some of the other knobs there. You see that it says that you have a mode for outdoor mode, and you have ducking, and you have all this stuff. What those are talking about is other little features that this has. So, like, for example, what ducking means is it means you could have music playing on one channel, but then when you started talking on the other channel, the channel that had the music on it would duck down, or in other words, it would audibly get quieter so that your voice was on top of it. That would be beneficial in a situation, let's say you had some music at an outdoor party and you wanted to make an announcement like, hey, the bride and groom are here, whatever. You could just make that announcement, and without having to make an adjustment, the other channel would just duck down. So that's really a neat feature. Now, another feature that this unit has, and actually I'm going to talk to you guys, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all right, is that it does have an app. Now, I hope our guys at Mackie are watching, because this is important. This app doesn't work. Okay, I'm just going to say it's beautiful. It's really a beautiful looking app, but we can't get it to work. And then I go on the App Store, and I found out that I'm not the only one. Now, the app itself, I'm sure, works, but we're having issues as far as connecting our phone. But let me show you what they're trying to do. So I'm sure their developers are going to work it out. What you can do with this app is you can control those 3 channels I was showing you from the app remotely. See, so you can bring the volume of channel 1, 2, and so on up and down remotely, so you don't have to reach around and turn those knobs up and down. You also have some other really cool features where you can go to advanced here, and you can go custom EQ, and you can actually set your own EQ curve just by dialing the little EQ thing. Again, you can tell that they've got the app going, okay? But we couldn't figure out how to get it connected. And then we also found out that in reading the reviews, because it was very poorly reviewed on the App Store, we found that a lot of people must be having the same issue, because it was all the same complaint. They were all saying, oh, it's beautiful looking, but it doesn't work. We can't get the app to connect. So I would definitely say to the guys at Mackie, be sure to get that fixed, because this is really a cool looking app, and I just hope that you guys can get it running. So anyway, so that being said, with the Mackie Thump Go, it has also some other neat features that are kind of just logged in, but I'm going to show you the most important one, okay? And that is that this unit right here has a rechargeable battery built into it. So now if you do like gigs where you're like busking or something like that, or playing out in a remote area, maybe you're a wedding musician, the kind of guy who gets asked to play guitar or something like that as the bride walks down the aisle, but they always like to be in remote places like a field or something. With this, it'll run for 12 hours on one full charge. How cool is that? So, and it really delivers some punch. It's got plenty of sound here for vocals or for guitar, no problem. And it has a mount underneath it where you can set it on a speaker stand so that you get a good travel as far as the sound's concerned. The sound is really good, and of course you can hear that it's in person too if you decide to come down to the store and check one out. But here's the best part about it. So the Mackie Thump speakers, people have been buying those for years now, and they're about $400. So you'd expect, oh boy, here comes the price tag. It's actually $449. So really it costs about the same as the traditional plugged-in Thumps, but with all these cool new features. If they can get the app part worked out, this is just an absolutely killer piece of gear. I mean, it'll be unstoppable if I can get that app connected, which I'm sure the developers are working on it, but But otherwise, yeah, I would highly recommend coming down and checking out the Thump Go. Because I think this is the kind of product that would work well for you. So I'll tell you what, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this cool demo. We've got all sorts of other neat products that you can check out at Mainstage that go along with this. And so I would highly recommend coming down to the shop. We're open 6 days a week, and we're open till 6 during the week and at 4 o'clock on the weekend. So definitely come down, check out all this cool gear. But I'm Brad. I want to thank you guys so much for watching tonight, and we'll just see you next time, all right?